Hello, today I'm with,
Emily.
and we talk about client acquisition for online coaches and other online businesses. So first question I have for you is how did your journey start, especially like the client acquisition for coaches?
So, hello, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me on. 4 years ago, I invested into my first ever business. Didn't make any money for a
What
whole
kind
year.
of business it was?
Network marketing. Yeah. And I didn't make any money for a whole year. But I was laying a foundation of like mindset, entrepreneurial skills. Stumbled into a coaching program that taught funnels, marketing, VSL, ad sales. And then I quit my job 30 days in, landed a client, became their head coach, and now I'm here today. Throughout that process, I was doing mainly cold outbound. So I was sending emails, I was sending DMs. It was rough, like a lot of messages every day, getting rejection. I remember one night where I had a call that I was going to do the next morning, and she canceled on me, and I cried. I still remember that.
That's how old were you at that moment?
19.
19, so it's pretty young.
So yeah, I was facing rejection eventually after coaching people and helping them get results in their agency, helping them get to 10K a month. I decided, let me do this coaching thing. So I invested into a coaching program that taught the funnels that we teach today.
So what type of funnels do you teach today? Like, I know that you specifically in the US market, my viewers are mostly in the Polish and Euro market, and it's day and night difference. So the main difference that I see between those two markets is the level of like the trust. And from what I can hear right now is that your trust in the US market is at the lowest level possible. So how do you manage to get clients on profit in the US market? What type of funnel do you use?
Yeah, trust is not built overnight. You have to really build trust with your audience through consistency, through being integral with your word, and also through good word of mouth, because other people will message people. We're social creatures. We follow the herd. So if someone says something that is in misalignment with what you are saying online, then that client isn't going to trust you. So I think that, yeah, there is not a lot of trust in the US market because of so many scammers and so many people who make these big promises and then their only skill is knowing how to take money from someone.
Yeah, I actually was scammed once when I was in the US market, because some people might don't know this, but I actually started in the US market.
Okay.
So, do you know like names like Sergio Taro, Nick Tarot, other that? Yeah. So 3 years ago, I was a video editor for these brands, and I was working in one YouTube agency at that moment. And then I decided that I want to like scale my own short form content agency. I invested 6K into one program. And the guy was actually in your program too, that you bought the program, so we were like together. And the first program was good. But the second one, I got an upsell for like the VSL funnels. And this guy was like a little not too good with his hello at the moment, and he decided to shut everything down. And I managed to get the refunds for like after 6 months. I have heard the stories again and again when people like master the skill of marketing and sales, but fulfillment is the other part of it.
Yeah, that's so important. That's so important.
So can you walk us through like what exact funnel do you use for those coaches? Because we know that we need to build the trust to get those clients right now, especially in the trust session, but what specifically do you use to get clients?
So I'll tell you what I don't use first. I don't teach my clients cold DMs. I don't teach my clients just spamming a bunch of organic, trying to go viral on Instagram. I don't teach like cold calling, Facebook groups, nothing like that. It's really simple. It's just running an ad to your Instagram and using your Instagram as a funnel. We also use YouTube as well to continue to nurture clients, and instead of taking people straight from an ad to booking a call, we now have them watch and consume content so that they become nurtured before booking that call.
So why do you say like you don't do cold DMs and cold calls in Facebook group with your clients? Why do you think that this is not working?
Because, well, I mean, it can work, but do you want it to, it depends on if you want to scale with cold DMs where you're hiring, I don't know, like a bunch of VAs, and that can become a whole fulfillment mess. Or if you would rather just have one person in your DMs reaching out to people who are wanting to work with you instead of you going out there and chasing after clients.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what do you say about like Facebook groups? Like you also have their own like circle there of your like audience. So why do you don't do the Facebook group then?
Reaching out to people in Facebook groups.
So like cold.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And what do you usually see like with your clients? Like, because if you run your Instagram as a funnel, you have your ad, and then you get the followers, and then you go through organic content. That seems like a lot of work. Like in reality, how long it usually takes to get someone from like the ad, let's say, to the client?
That's a good question. So it can depend. There's no black and white answer. If someone has great content skills and they know how to showcase and position their offer on Instagram, speak directly to their clients' pain points, and influence action, then people will be sliding into their DMs. But if someone lacks those skills, then they do have to go through the process of learning those skills and taking time. So it depends on where they're at in their journey.
And how many clients do you have at the moment?
Right now I have around 30.
30.
Yeah.
So you probably have seen some clients getting better results, some clients getting worse results. And what's usually the difference between those who get amazing results and those who doesn't specifically get the best results?
So results are inevitable if you put in the work. Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Some people don't want to put in the work, and how I define that is like showing up to all the coaching calls, actually implementing the feedback that we give, and doing it not over a long period of time, but in a short amount of time.
I also seen the same with my clients. Like I usually talk about that with my CSM team, and they're like, hey, if every single person every single of our clients would implement the same thing that we're teaching to others, like everyone will get results. But the only difference between those who get results and those who don't get results is just like the buy-in, like being engaged and doing something. Because sometimes I'm like, people are paying so much money and they're not doing anything. Like, and I don't know if that happened to you.
Yeah, it's definitely happened. And that's where I think it comes down to the level of pain from where they are. And also if someone is taking a risk on themselves. You know, if they're just someone who has tons of money and they're like, I'm just going to blow it on a bunch of coaching programs, but I'm chill because I have all this money. Whereas someone who doesn't have a plan B and they want to burn their ships and they want to go all in, then they're more bought in and typically get better results.
Also seen that. And sometimes people are like, those who have like more money and they throw a bunch of money on your program, your like working with you, they usually say like, or they think inside of their head that, hey, I just think like everything will be done magically for me and don't need to put any work. And then they're like, oh, why is that working? Because like you didn't do anything.
Exactly. I've had those clients where they have tons of money and they just want everything done for them. But they realize, like, when you start a business, it's just you in the beginning, and you have to put in a lot of work.
Mm. So how it was with you when you started? Like, of course, you didn't have like any employees at the moment. So how it looked like
How did it look, as in like
when you were
what,
starting?
like my day to day, or the amount of work I was doing?
This and that.
Yeah. Well, I was also going to college, and it was waking up really early, going to bed really late, in the gym, replying to clients, reading my Audible books, reviewing sales calls, and getting home, hopping on coaching calls, hopping on client calls. And there wasn't a lot of like cheap dopamine I would allow myself to experience. So no like going out, parties, and yeah, pretty much same thing today. Like same work.
So would you say your life is boring and you wasted it?
Boring to me is fun. Like, I don't think having a crazy life means that you have a better life. If I can find happiness and gratitude in the mundane of fulfilling, of service, of sales calls, I think that that is where you can be shaped and developed as a person.
And I remember it weren't always like that with you. I heard some stories that before it didn't used to be like that. Can you show us some more insights?
Yeah, as in like before I started the business where I was. So yeah, I was working as a baker.
Baker is like you bake like a bread or something.
Yeah, I was baking bread, breaking
Breaking bread? Not not being serious.
I was baking
So you're like
bread.
baking narcotics there or what?
Baking croissants and decorating cakes. And I've had just a lot of jobs in the food industry. So the entire time while I was working those jobs, I noticed that I would always, and this is just like zooming out bigger picture and not like trying to brag, but I just noticed I had a work ethic that was different than others. And so I would, work really hard, but then also come home like aching physically, crying myself to sleep because I knew that I could do something. And then on the weekends, like go party, take drugs, alcohol, and it was an empty life.
Did you like it then?
Did I like it then? No.
So what was the kind of wake-up call that you had to change something?
Yeah, so at that point, I had been watching people on Instagram.
So those people that like you had to make money online.
Yeah. Maybe if you're watching this, you're the same way, where you were scrolling Instagram, seeing people live these beautiful, lavish lives, and realizing that there's not a difference between where they are and where you could be. Like, you know that you could also achieve that. But it was just needing to find the right vehicle or the right boat for you to get into.
Yeah.
So then I started searching, and that's when I found the Kangen water business. And
How did we meet?
what are our similarities? You know, like, because I've been in Bali since May, and it's been a wild journey being here.
Why do you say it's wild?
It's just expanding. When you hang around people who, like you, for example, are doing such big things and you're so young.
I wouldn't say it's big.
Okay, you're doing like medium-sized things.
Like it's funny because like 3 years ago, and I would just imagine myself making like 10K a month. It was like crazy. Like I couldn't imagine that was possible. And right now it's like it's not doing that well, but like 300 times over what I was expecting. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you get to meet people who are humble, but they're doing more than what most people are doing at their age. And being in an environment where, you get like people to make all your food and drive you everywhere, and you don't really have to worry about anything but getting to the gym and working on your laptop. It's just really set up.
Yeah, it's really set up.
It's really set up.
It's really good because like every single day it's all about getting to the laptop, starting working and eating something and then going to the gym.
Yeah. But I also have been thinking about how can you create a business that you don't always need to be like on your laptop 24/7. My mentors, one of my first mentors, it was very much the mentality of I need to work. But I got burnt out, they got burnt out, and you kind of have to make up for those years that you work so hard in the season of rest because you're so burnt out. So I think we were talking about this the other day, like sustainability.
Exactly. And most of my time when I was working, like it was just like work. So there was no time for rest. Like waking up at like 4, 6 a.m., working till like 8 p.m., something like that. Even so, sometimes even more. I remember those days. It was like a couple of months ago when I have everything like not falling down, but it was like just a lot of things to do. And I used to wake up at 7 and work till 4 a.m. So I was sleeping 3 hours.
When?
It was a couple months ago.
Wow.
Like right now it's always it was half a year ago actually.
Do you recommend people do that?
No. I mean, it depends who is watching it, because for myself, like 4 or 5 years ago, I would say yes, do this for a certain period of life, but it's not sustainable and you just cannot do it in the long term. You have to sometimes get to the first levels and just start doing the work, and then you can start thinking about like resting more or working less. But it's not a good advice for people that are just like on the starting levels because they didn't put enough work to.
At what point did you say I need to rest more?
It's hard. It's a hard question because I still don't know about myself.
Because this is like the first time that you've traveled. First time on a plane recently.
Yeah. It was the first time on the plane 4 months ago in the US. I was on the podcast and then we fly to Bali. So that was my second time.
Do you like living in Bali?
Yes and no. I would say it's something good in Bali. So you have the sun, you have the really good food, the weather is really good. But because of that, it's hard to get to really like grinding mode. And on the other hand, you get to meet like really cool people like you. So we met at the Nirvana gym. And I was like, hey, do you build funnels for coaches? And she was like, yeah. Then I sent her a DM that, hey, do you want to do a podcast? And it was like really quick. So yeah, I would say 50-50 for now. I don't know how about the long term, but
yeah.
How about you?
I agree. I haven't been able to get into like the serious focus work that I could do back home, which I'm excited to leave on Friday and go back home. I ordered a walking treadmill desk, so I'm excited for that. I'm just gonna be walking
in the US
and working. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So really thank you for your time today. And if you want to watch the second episode, then the link to the second episode will be in the description.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.
Peace.